All right, on this day, back in 1998, the PC maker Compaq completed its purchase of Digital Equipment Corp. It was a $9 billion deal that was then the largest ever acquisition in the computer industry. And while the deal vaulted Compaq to the second biggest player in the industry after IBM, it ultimately contributed to its downfall. Compaq was founded only 16 years earlier, 1982, three former Texas Instrument engineers drawing up an idea for a portable computer. By 1987, they were generating more than $1 billion in annual revenue, mainly selling so-called clone PCs. But by the 1990s, a deluge of even cheaper PC clones was crushing Compaq, so the company set its sights on the corporate market and the lure of recurring services revenue. Sitting on almost $5 billion in cash and an inflated stock price, Compaq held acquisition talks with several companies and in 1997 decided to pay $3 billion to buy Tandem Computers. That deal was followed 6 months later by Digital Equipment. It was an explicit salvo at IBM and its stranglehold on the corporate market. But as Compaq learned, if you come at the king, you best not miss. Selling services, it ain't as simple as building hardware. It requires legions of skilled technicians, which Compaq didn't have. Making matters worse, Compaq effectively bought a business that was suffering from stagnant sales, lagging market share, and more than $2.5 billion in losses over the past 5 years. That acquisition, it was a tipping point for Compaq, and it would join a list of high-tech mergers that never delivered on their potential. Think about the merger of Sperry Corp and Burroughs back in 1986 to form Unisys. They tried and failed to challenge IBM in the mainframe market. Or think of AT&T's hostile takeover of NCR back in 1991, a $7.5 billion deal that AT&T would have to spin off 5 years later at a lower valuation of just $4 billion. Or how about Silicon Graphics and Cray Research in 1996, which a decade later pushed that combined company into bankruptcy. As for Compaq, by 2001, just 3 years after making the biggest acquisition ever in the computer industry, that company threw in the towel, agreeing to sell itself to Hewlett-Packard, where its remnants remain today.